Hi, I'm Dwayne Brown. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, San Onofre's operator says it may have to retire the North County nuclear plant for good. We'll have details of a conference call with analysts. Drug agents sweep several North County high schools. More than a dozen students and adults are now charged with dealing on campus. And it was back to bankruptcy court today for San Diego Hospice. We'll have the latest in the case.
I'm Peggy Pico. Also ahead, President Obama prepares to meet with Mexico's president, how cross-border relations are likely to change, and the potential impact on San Diego's economy. Plus, a preview of KPBS new TV series, A Growing Passion with Nan Sturman. Discover San Diego's rarely seen sustainable farms and growers.
It may soon become illegal to sell puppies and kittens in San Diego pet stores. We'll tell you about a proposed ban. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Restart or retirement, the two possible futures of the San Onofre nuclear plant in the North County. Its operators asked for permission to restart one reactor at partial power. If denied, Southern California Edison says it may retire both reactors. The plant's been idle since January 2012. In a conference call today, Edison told analysts the bill for the shutdown has reached $553 million, mostly for replacement power. Edison is asked to restart the Unit 2 reactor at 70% power by June 1st. Federal regulators are expected to make a decision in the next few weeks. Lawmakers in several cities have asked for a delay until public hearings can be held. Edison says if it doesn't get approval, then it may decide later this year to retire one or both reactors. 6 high school students and 10 adults were arrested on drug charges this afternoon following a year-long sheriff's investigation targeting 4 North County high schools. After a number of drug overdose deaths and drug-related issues involving high school students, Sheriff's Department sent 3 deputies undercover for a year, posing as students at 4 affluent high schools in the North County: Poway, Mission Hills, Abraxas, and Ramona.
This is not an inner-city problem. This is a problem county-wide, and so we wanted to focus kind of in the north part of San Diego County. That's where you have the San Marcos, Ramona, Poway nexus there.
Deputies were able to buy drugs at each campus with the exception of Abraxas, ranging from marijuana, heroin, cocaine, and prescription painkillers. They also heard students talk about using drugs off campus at parties. 9 of the arrest warrants were for current and former students, while the remaining 10 were for adults who sold drugs to undercover deputies.
We'll learn from this, and I think we'll make our high school safer as a result of what we've done today.
Sheriff Gore says deputies are pursuing other leads in the drug sweep and will continue the investigation. His message today is, if you want to buy illegal drugs at school, think twice. You could be talking to an undercover deputy. All but one of the juveniles were taken into custody at their high schools, while 3 other suspects remain at large. San Diego Hospice was once one of the nation's leaders in the hospice care movement, but earlier this year they filed bankruptcy, and today their most valuable asset, their Hillcrest property, was auctioned off in court. To tell us more about it is Kelly Pace from our investigations desk. Kelly, what happened at the auction?
Well, the courtroom was packed. Scripps Health and Sharp Healthcare came head-to-head in an auction to buy San Diego Hospice's 8-acre property in Hillcrest. After about 50 bids back and forth between the two, Scripps won the sale. They got the property for $16,550,000, beating out Sharp by just $50,000, although Sharp will remain as a backup bidder.
And what does this mean for San Diego Hospice and its creditors?
Well, the attorneys for San Diego Hospice and its unsecured creditors, that is, those who are owed money but have no collateral, were both very happy with the outcome of the auction. The starting bid from Scripps was $10.7 million, so they were ecstatic with the final sale going almost $6 million over the initial bid. The property has been assessed at more than $18 million. And part of that property includes the inpatient hospice facility that was built from a generous $18 million donation from the late Joan Kroc. Now, Jeffrey Isaacs, the attorney for San Diego Hospice, said that one important factor during the auction process was how each bidder plans to treat the memorial items at the property.
So what's next?
Well, the Attorney General needs to approve the sale before it becomes official. And also the hospice and their creditors will put together a plan to liquidate their smaller assets before all is said and done.
KPBS investigations reporter Kelly Pace. UT San Diego is back among the top 25 newspapers in the country. It had fallen out of the top 25 last fall, but a media tracking group reports a rise in readership after the UT bought the North Cali Times. The increase includes print and digital editions. San Diego is considering a ban on the retail sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits. KPBS reporter Susan Murphy tells us the idea is to encourage more adoptions from shelters.
The proposed ordinance would make it unlawful to sell animals in any pet shops and retail businesses within the city of San Diego unless the animal was obtained from an animal shelter or rescue organization. Animal advocacy groups report that dogs, cats, and rabbits bred for pet stores are kept in inhumane conditions and lack veterinary care, and many end up in shelters. Gary Weitzman, president of the San Diego Humane Society, says the ordinance would help find more homes for the 45,000 animals that come through the shelter system in San Diego County. He says Petco and PetSmart are leaders in retail store pet adoptions.
And that's actually a model in which adoptable animals from shelters and nonprofits and rescue groups are actually brought into those facilities to be adopted. And that's fantastic, and that's a win for everybody.
David Salinas is owner of the lone puppy retail store in the city, San Diego Puppy Incorporated. Several other stores sell baby rabbits. Salinas says the ordinance is unfortunate, and the bad eggs shouldn't ruin it for legitimate stores like his who receive puppies from American Kennel Club or AKC breeders.
The majority of people want a legitimate pet store that deals with legitimate breeders that are AKC and AKC partners registered.
If passed, San Diego would become the 32nd city in the nation and 12th in the state with a retail pet ban. Mike Canning is CEO of the Pet Industry Joint Advisory Council in Washington, D.C. He's representing David Salinas at the hearing.
Shelters and other types of rescues, they sell a lot of animals, and sometimes for $400, $500, $600, $700. So they're competition to David. And so what they do is they try to drum up the misnomer that all of David's puppies come from substandard breeders.
The San Diego City Council's Public Safety and Neighborhood Services Committee is scheduled to take up the ordinance on Wednesday afternoon. Susan Murphy, KPBS News.
President Obama heads to Mexico this week to meet with the country's new president. Peggy Pico takes a closer look at the issues on the table and how they could impact San Diego.
Mexico officials say President Obama's visit with Mexico President Enrique Peña Nieto will likely focus on scaling back U.S. involvement in the drug war, also security affairs and the economy. My guest, Shannon O'Neill, is senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations and author of Two Nations Indivisible, Mexico and the United States, and the Road Ahead. Recently met with Mexico's president. Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us
Pleasure
here
to be here.
Updating us on what's happening. Now, aside from meeting with the president, you also met with Mexican officials who've said that this unusual closeness and freedom of American security in Mexico for the last few years is likely to change. How come?
Well, we've seen this new government trying to form their new security policy. And just yesterday, they announced there's going to be some changes. But really, it's an evolution from the last government. They're trying to think, how do we move forward? How do we begin to reduce the violence? And there will be continued cooperation on cleaning up the courts, cleaning up the cops. But we're going to see a difference in the way the information goes from the United States and the agencies here to the agencies there.
And President Obama addressed that this morning. But President Peña Nieto's party, the PRI, says that they want to focus on economic reform. What do they mean? What types of reforms were they telling you about?
Well, you know, this is the big ambitious agenda of this government. And they've come out of the gates, coming in the beginning of December, introducing a labor reform, an education reform, reform to the telecommunications sector, and coming up, reforms to energy, reforms to the tax system. This is the big focus of this government, and it's also the big focus of the bilateral relationship with the United States for this government. How do we deepen the economic ties?
And this is a little bit different than the previous administration in Mexico, when there was a big focus on curtailing the drug cartels, and that. How is that changing?
Well, what we've seen, the last government really focused on deepening U.S.-Mexico ties in security and security cooperation. And while that will continue under this government, they're shifting the focus to now include and even prioritize economic ties. It's not that one goes away or wasn't there in the past government, but really the priorities, the focus is going to shift.
Now, in your book, you say U.S. needs to see Mexico as a partner instead of a problem, and in fact, our future depends on it. What do you mean by that?
You know, while we talk about in the headlines other countries, right, Syria or Iraq or the like, no other country affects the United States on a day-to-day basis than Mexico.
Because of business, or how
because
so?
Of, the food on our tables, the parts in our cars, the gas in our tanks, the consumers for our products, or the drugs on our streets. This affects us on a day-to-day basis. So what Mexico does, if Mexico does well, so too will the United States. If Mexico doesn't, it will affect the United States. So we need to see them, as I said, as a partner, not a problem in this.
Which might be difficult for some people. There's still a travel warning out in effect from last year. 70,000 deaths in Mexico have been linked to this drug cartel violence, or certainly that recent war on drug cartels. How do you reassure U.S. citizens that, look, we can get beyond this, we can have a partnership?
In Mexico, there's many realities. There's a security reality, which is a very grave and serious one. But there's also a growing economy, there's a rising middle class, there's a competitive democracy. And so we need to understand all of those and how we work together with the good ones and how we work with Mexico to improve the bad ones, to improve the security, because whatever happens there will affect us in the United States.
And as you said, we're not removing our security forces in Mexico, or I should say our security administration there. Do you think the timing of this meeting has anything to do with the immigration reform and the debate going on here in the U.S.?
Well, it's interesting. Obama's decided to go to Mexico and then Central America right when immigration reform is happening. And obviously, immigration reform is bigger than Mexico, but it is the country that sends the most migrants to the United States. Almost a third of our immigrants here are from Mexico. So it's an important issue and undoubtedly will be on the agenda.
Do you think that that it'll be on the agenda, certainly, but do you think that this meeting will influence the outcome of that immigration reform here in the United States?
That is really a domestic debate here in the United States, how we cobble together or don't a comprehensive reform with all the different factions.
Okay, Shannon O'Neill, thank you so much for updating us and talking with us today.
Great to be here.
We want to take a moment to say happy 60th anniversary to our colleagues at Channel 6 XETV. It's the second oldest TV station in town. XETV actually went on the air April 29th, 1953. City Council honored the station today with a proclamation. By the way, the Channel 6 call letters start with an X because it actually transmits from Mexico. San Diego teenagers can now receive free condoms by mail. The offer is available in California counties with high rates of sexually transmitted disease. Speak City Heights reporter Megan Burks joins us from the News Center. Megan, who's offering this mailer and how does it work?
A statewide federally funded organization called the California Family Health Council is offering the mail-order condoms in 7 counties. The idea is to reduce STDs by sending condoms to teens who are too shy to pick them up in stores and clinics or can't afford them. They just order them online at teensource.org, and the condoms and some educational materials then arrive on their doorstep in discreet packaging.
And San Diego was selected for the program because of its STD rates. How high are they?
San Diego County has particularly high chlamydia rates. It has the second highest number of chlamydia cases among 15 to 24-year-olds in California. The rate increased 7% in 2012. San Diego ranks better in the state for gonorrhea and syphilis, but also saw significant increases there, 36% for gonorrhea and 15% for syphilis. We have more about this online at kpbs.org.
Speak City Heights reporter Megan Burks. Well, from condoms in the mail to the morning after pill moving over the counter, 15 is now the age limit for buying Plan B without a prescription. Food and Drug Administration announced the new policy today. The emergency contraceptive will now be on drugstore shelves, but buyers will have to prove their age at the cash register. Federal regulators are now looking into foods with added caffeine, just as caffeinated chewing gum is hitting the market. Marketing for Alert Energy Gum says one piece has as much caffeine as a half cup of coffee. The Food and Drug Administration wants to know what effect extra caffeine has on children and teens. The maker of Monster Energy drink is pushing back against pressure to cut its caffeine content. The company is suing San Francisco's city attorney. He's been trying to get Monster to reformulate its drinks and change its marketing. The company says it's being unfairly singled out.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next News Hour, we debate the recent actions by 5 states to limit access to abortion services. That's Tuesday on the PBS News Hour.
This Thursday night marks the start of something new on KPBS television, produced right here in San Diego. A Growing Passion explores the unexpected world of local growing with a focus on sustainability. Here's a preview.
It's winter here at Recon Native Plant Nursery, just a little north of the Mexican border. While most conventional garden plants are looking kind of sad right now, they've lost their leaves, these natives, they're just kicking in. Recon Native Plant Nursery in the South Bay grows hundreds of varieties of plants, many native to right here in San Diego County. Recon supplies plants for landscapes, habitat restoration, and revegetation projects. These plants are native, and that's important because revegetation projects require plants from the same gene pool as those native to the site. So, Recon Seed Collector travels across the county to chaparral, to vernal pools, to riparian habitats, wherever he needs to go to get the right seeds from the right plants. He brings seeds back to the nursery to be cleaned and then stored until they're needed. Ryan West, General Manager at Recon, showed us the seed stock.
So what do we got here?
This is some native seed that we've collected. This is toyon and limonium. These seeds were collected about a week ago, and they're out here drying before we process them.
And in the bags?
This is all native seed. It's a seed that has been collected for different projects, and right now it's waiting. It's been cleaned, and it's waiting to be mixed and applied onto a project site. So we bring the seed in, we label it, and then that label goes into our inventory, and we can use it for our plant production. And the information that the seed collector brings us follows that plant all the way through until it leaves the nursery.
Sprouting these seeds is not always easy, but Recon has the process down. The tiniest of seeds and seedlings are coddled a bit, but once they start to mature, it's all tough love. Plants are gradually moved through the shade houses to the outside, so they grow under the same conditions they'll face once they're in habitat or in the landscape. Soils are lean, not what you'd see in most nurseries. Brian, this looks more like my garden soil than it does like regular potting mix. What is this?
This is something that's special about Recon Native plants. We grow our plants in a mixture that contains more than 50% native soil, and that is designed to produce a plant that's adapted to the project site where it's going to be outplanted. In the nursery, it produces a plant that's a little bit more compact, hardier, and better adapted to withstand stresses of a project site. But for certain contracts, they'll require or ask that we grow the plants for their project in native soil to the site where the plants will be planted back.
So you guys actually go out and you collect soil in addition to seeds and cuttings at the site?
Correct, absolutely.
Plants are grown in full sun, on little water, and with little to no fertilizer. This approach produces a sturdy, drought-resistant plant that can stand up to the rigors of the environment.
And the purpose for that is so that you can get a plant that is adapted to the animal, insect, and plant community and the climatic regime and soil type of the project site. It gives the restoration project a better chance for success.
How many different kinds of plants you grow?
We grow about 400 different species of plants. San Diego County itself has over 2,000 native species. Plants are native to rivers, lakes, mountains, desert, the ocean, and so we grow for many of those different plant communities. We also use what's called controlled drought here at the nursery. So we don't water our plants as much as they would probably like. The idea with that is producing a plant that's going to be compact, hardy, and it's going to be able to withstand some of the stresses on a large restoration project.
Joining me is garden designer, botanist, author, and now host of KPBS's new show, A Growing Passion, with Nan Sturman. Nan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
for
congratulations.
Thank you.
Your segment, your show, is one of just 2 that were chosen for this KPBS competition called the Explore San Diego Project. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to help us explore in this 6-week series.
Oh, we go all over the county. We look at all the ways that San Diego grows. We've been all the way down to the border of Mexico. In fact, we've even hopped the border a little bit into Tecate. We've been up in Fallbrook, in Valley Center. We're visiting all the places and all the different ways that things grow here in San Diego.
And in the story that we just saw, you introduced us to San Diegans who worked with native plants, getting the seeds. Who are some of the other locals that you're going to introduce us to?
Well, we're going to go, one of our episodes, believe it's our premiere episode, is on cut flowers. Cut flower industry is huge in San Diego, so we go visit the places where they grow the proteas, those really wonderful exotic flowers. We go to the greenhouses where they grow lilies and gerberas. We go to the wholesale flower market. We learn about floral design. For the native episode, we go down by the border to the vernal pools, which are very rare habitats, and look at how they're being restored. We just go everywhere.
A lot of places that people may not know or may not be able to go see.
Absolutely.
So that's what a lot of this show is about. Is it a how-to show, though? Are you going to be showing us how to plant things and things like that?
Every episode has a significant how-to component to it. For example, we have an episode on growing and recycling. We look at recycling solid waste like straw that comes out of Del Mar Fairgrounds, the stables, and now that's used to grow mushrooms. We look at water that's recycled from Forest Ranch and used to apply onto landscape. And then we go to my house and we put a gray water system into my washing machine. So there's a lesson for how you take that recycling and you take it home and what you can do with it at home.
And we were just seeing some of the clips here of the beautiful flowers and all the different areas you were talking about visiting. Why did you personally want to do this show?
I've been wanting to do a garden television show for about 10 years, actually, and have done a couple of shows. You know, there's such wonderful stories to tell about people who are passionate about what they do outside in the garden, whether they're hobby gardeners or whether they are farmers, whether they're people who have nurseries. They're just wonderful people with wonderful stories. And I think it's really important to be inspired by the people around you. You may not even know they're there or what they're doing, but you benefit from what they do, and you can learn from them. And you can take those lessons home, and you can make your life richer because you know what they do and you learn from them.
And it's so much more, as you said, than how to garden. Here's how you plant. So for the people who aren't necessarily gardeners, it offers them something too.
They'll love it too. You know, we go out and we visit a guy who recycles manure and things like that with red worms, and then he makes that red worm compost available to gardeners. It's wonderful. We get to see the worms. We get to see how he does it. He crawls around. He loves his worms. You know, and he also has he does, and it's just great. But that worm casting, they're wonderful amendments for your garden. So it's just a whole cycle. It's the whole cycle.
It's connecting on so many levels. Tell us about this basket of plants. I'm not going to say all herbs because one of them might be a vegetable. Why are they here? What are you doing with these?
We've been going around San Diego to various farmers markets and different events around San Diego and doing pop-up planting experiences where we set up a booth and we have a bunch of seedlings of herbs. This is an orange, tangerine variegated mint. This is sage, garden sage, edible sage, and this is an artichoke seedlings. And we've been taking plugs with us. Plugs are little tiny seedlings, and these take out food containers and the soil.
Yeah, pull one out so we can see it here. So you take the little plugs and you put them in this, and what's the purpose of that?
Well, we invite people to plant, and we teach them how to plant, and then they take this home with them, and they plant it in their garden, and they watch it grow and take pictures of it, send it to our website, and tell us what their promise is for helping San Diego grow. We call it Plant Your Promise.
Oh, how interesting.
It's been a great way to bring people in and to tell them about what we're doing and get them excited about the show.
Yeah, and as far as the show, what if you had to say there was one takeaway or one walk-away message after watching this 6-week series? What what do you hope happens?
I hope people understand that growing is part of what we all do, whether you do it personally or whether it happens, somebody else does it and you eat the food that they grow, or you benefit from the flowers that they grow. I want people to have an awareness of the environment around them and to understand what it takes to be sustainable and make our communities sustainable, how we all grow together.
All right, Nan Sturman, thanks so much for giving us a peek look into your show. Looking forward to it, certainly. And I want to let viewers know that Growing Passion with Nan Sturman premieres this Thursday night at 8:30 on KPBS TV.
Thank you.
Well, the first few days of May might just feel like summer. Temperatures will start warming up along the coast into the 80s and into the 90s for the inland valleys by Friday. Sunny and 70s for the mountains over the next few days, 90s in the desert where there's a wind advisory tonight. Recapping tonight's top stories, San Onofre's operator says it may retire the nuclear plant if it can't restart a reactor at partial power. The plant's been idle since January 2012. In a conference call today, Southern California Edison told analysts the bill for the shutdown has reached $553 million. Mostly for replacement power. Edison has asked to restart the Unit 2 reactor at 70% power by June 1st. Federal regulators are expected to make a decision in the next few weeks. Scripps Health is buying San Diego Hospice's most valuable asset, its property in Hillcrest. The property was auctioned off in bankruptcy court today. The winning bid from Scripps, more than $16 million. And a year-long drug investigation at several North County high schools led to 16 arrests today. 6 of the suspects are juveniles. Sheriff's Department says deputies posed as students and bought drugs at Mission Hills, Poway, and Ramona high schools. You can find tonight's stories and download the KPBS app all on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.